Hey, I'm Lisa Natoli, and I want to thank you for signing up for Dr. Kia's Mind, Body, Spirit Summit. And as I said in my interview with Dr. Kia, I wanted to give you a free gift. And I thought about it and I wanted to create something brand new for you. So it is actually the day before my video launches with Dr. Kia. It is August 28th, 2019. It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm so happy that you signed up for this. And one of the things I really like to do is to create new content. When I say I'm going to give a free gift, I like it to be a real gift. So, welcome, and I wanted to just give you a practice from the Healing Cure, which is an 8-week online program that I offer, and it is to really experience directly true healing, to live as your true self, as light, as love, to begin to tap into this intelligence and this power and this creativity that has been available to you for your entire life, but that has been covered up by beliefs, by thoughts, by fear. And what this is it's a challenge. I really love to invite people to play like a little child. And the reason for that is because I want people to have a direct experience to see how different life can be. So I'm Lisa Natoli, and I'm a teacher of A Course in Miracles. I'm also a healer, and what I always say is everyone is a healer, because I, Lisa, am not the healer. I, the light, am the healer. So the person's not the healer. The love is the healer. And so it really is an identification now with your true self, your I am, that doesn't get sick, that doesn't have a problem, that is totally free. So I'm just going to give you some of the very opening practices. And if it's your first time being introduced to me, I want to tell you that there is a free 40-day program, and that's available to everyone all the time. It's right here on this page where this video is, and it's really created as an activation for people to begin to see how their mind is working. And I use the teachings of A Course in Miracles. You get 10 daily videos from me. It's actually 43 videos because there's 3 days of preparation, and that's all about decluttering, making a commitment to go the entire 40 days and clearing out your physical space so that you can begin clearing out your emotional and mental space. And then 40 days of watching your mind like a hawk, of having some brand new habits for yourself. You're going to create a morning routine where you're connecting with yourself, where you're beginning to listen to this inner voice that often we don't hear because we're so distracted by the voice that's trapped in time and space. So I love the messages that I receive from people who have done the 40-day program, because people see results in the first couple of days. Like, many people had no idea that everything that they were thinking is just a thought, and that a thought can be changed. And so it's exciting when you begin to notice that you don't have to get upset. You don't have to be angry. And there's always another possibility. So that is something that's always available, and that's why I didn't want to give that as the free gift, because it's already a free gift and it's already right there for you. So if you want to get started on that, I highly encourage it. If you don't know me at all, if you're not familiar with A Course in Miracles, that's a great place to start. And if you do know me and you've taken the 40-day program, well, nice to see you again. And I I'm just so happy when people want to make a change in their life. Like, I know if you signed up for Dr. Kia's Mind Body Spirit Summit that you've been wanting a change. I know that. You wouldn't have signed up. And so we always begin right wherever you think you are, right in this moment. And what I want to do today is take you through kind of an active meditation. So many people in the world think of meditation as something you do, and it's almost like it's a practice that has an outcome later. And that's not really how I meditate. So my meditation is much more active because you have the ability and the power to still your mind wherever you are by your own decision to do so. So, right while you're watching me, while you're listening to me, we're going to bring ourselves into the stillness. And this is where all your power is. And there's no problems here. In the centered place where your I am is, the spark of life in you, the light that you are, the love that you are, it's at the very being of your beingness. It's what you are. You're not a body. You're not the person. And so what we've done in our lifetime is identify with the body. So we carry the beliefs and the thoughts of that identification. So what happens when you identify with the body as yourself, you have experiences of isolation, separation, feelings of weakness, feelings of powerlessness, overwhelm, worry, guilt, shame, blame, and you get the results of that location. So the healing cure is a way to begin to notice where your identification is. Are you identified with the self that you are, which is pure light, totally eternal and free, or are you identified with the body that has a timeline, that has a past and a future? And wherever your identification is, that is what you're going to be experiencing. So the healing cure is an 8-week invitation to live as your true self. I love what Jesus said 2,000 years ago. If you ever have read the Bible, he commanded people to just get up and walk. He didn't have a healing method. He knew the truth, and he set everything free in that recognition of the truth. So the healing cure is a fun approach to life where you begin to live as the healed self. You live in your wholeness. You live in your creativity. You live in authenticity. You just make this decision that you are healed and begin to really see, okay, what have I been waiting for? Because what we do with sickness, problems, difficulties, is we think when this goes away, then I'll start living, right? And years go by and nothing ever changes. So what this is a way for you to begin to look within and really say, okay, what is it that I would love to do? And then from this still place, you can begin to see where you have been blocking because of fear. So I'm going to take you through just a little bit of a practice right now that's from the Healing Cure. It's from A Course in Miracles. Actually, it's from this book, which I love very much. And they have some workbook lessons in here. And there's these lessons that I call the holiness lessons. And I'm just going to take you through a couple of practices, a few things that I put in my little notebook. I'm a big fan of the journal. So I ask you to get a piece of paper and a pen or a journal if you want. I'm going to be asking you a couple of things to look at. And this is really just a way to get you started. You can just say, okay, wow, I can get started right now to make a decision to live as my healed self, my true self, your I am, the peace, the joy, the love that you are. And what happens first is you really got to look at what the mind's been doing all along. Like if you've ever had an experience where you just say, I'm just going to be happy, and then you just can't do it because you haven't actually seen the blocks that are blocking the happiness. So you really need to look at the beliefs and the thoughts that you're holding so that they can be removed. Because once the blocks have been removed from your mind by your own decision, the happiness and the love that you are just simply begins to flow. So it's actually not a doing, but you have to be a participant in this work. So, welcome. Take a little sip of water. And what I'd like to ask you is, let's see here. I want to invite you to have a very different view of yourself. So what I'd like for you to write down in your journal once this video is over, and again, this is a meditation, that you're taking time to be completely focused. And what we do in the Healing Cure is I invite everyone to keep coming back to the center. It's one of the main practices. I give some practices that I invite everyone to carry through all 8 weeks, and one of them is keep coming back. Watch when you wander off into body identity and you start focusing on your problems, you're focusing on the body, you're focusing on pain, you're focusing on grievances, come back. So it's constantly centering. You wander off, now you're going this way, come back. Come back to this still place. And you wander off, and you come back. So it's not a bad thing that you wander off, but you begin to notice, oh, I'm focusing on my difficulties. I'm focusing on fear. I'm focusing on pain. And a lot of people who take the Healing Cure are having physical symptoms. And when a physical symptom is present, it does grab your attention. And so you have to really be vigilant to come back. So when you live off your center, you have a view of yourself from that off-centeredness. I call it your location. So the thing I ask everyone to do in the Healing Cure is to constantly ask yourself over this 8-week period, where am I? And how you know where you are is by how you feel. So if you feel anything other than joy and peace and love, you're off your center. You have wandered off and you think you're alone. So you're over here, and the version and the view of yourself is going to be things like weak, frail, powerless, helpless. So I want you to list down how you see yourself. And I take everyone through all of this during the 8 weeks. What I do in the Healing Cure is I give a 1 hour, once a week video, just like this one. So I wanted for everyone to have the experience as if you were having a weekly session with me. And I just go through the lessons like I'm going through them now. I give practices. I invite everyone to live as their healed whole self. And the first step is to begin to see the beliefs and the thoughts that you're having. So I see myself as blank. So I want you to write down in your journal, I see myself as, and then fill in the blank, whatever that is. I see myself as failing. I see myself as weak. And you might see yourself as something positive. Write that down too. I see myself as generous. I see myself as charitable. I see myself as whatever you see yourself as. And that list is the body identification list, because what you are is holy. And so you're going to replace now all of those attributes that you see of yourself, and you're going to change your vision to, my mind is part of God's, I am very holy. And what we do in the Healing Cure that I love, because I like to have fun, is I ask everyone to come up with some attributes of their true self. And I want everyone to find out the ones that are true for them. And you're going to live those attributes. So instead of living as weak, frail, powerless, helpless, you're going to live as playful, as authentic, as expressive, as whatever you come up with. Confident. Whatever words that you come up with that really resonate for how your true self is. This is your healed self. And this is why healing doesn't take any time, because all of these attributes are already available to you. And what happens when you make this shift from over here off your center to your center is there's going to be a disruption. It's going to first cause a little bit of fear, or maybe a lot of fear, because you're moving out of your location where you think you're safe. We come up with ways of living to protect ourselves. So we think, well, I have to just stay quiet so that people don't say things about me, and I need to be generous so people like me, and I need to be a giver. That's why I wanted you to add the charitable and positive attributes on your list, because oftentimes the positive attributes are just things that we learned in time and space to be liked, to be loved, and to just get by in this world. So what we're doing now is we're moving into our identification as light, as Christ, as holiness. And your holiness is the power in the presence of God. So now what we're going to do is, what you're going to do is you're going to begin to use your holiness as your one and only response to everyone and everything for 8 weeks. So when a pain comes into the body, or difficulty, or you're thinking of a situation that's upsetting, you are blessing that thought, that pain, that problem with your holiness. This is the whole holiness cure. I always call it the holiness cure, the healing cure. And so that's the first exercise. I see myself as blank. And when you see yourself that way, you are not looking through the eyes of holiness. So what the healing cure is a decision to see through the eyes of your own holiness, to know yourself as whole. That's what healing and health means. It actually means wholeness. So we're living from the wholeness now. And then you're enveloping everything with your holiness. So this is the practice. So whenever you catch a thought, my holiness envelops this computer. My holiness envelops this journal. My holiness envelops this telephone. My holiness envelops this body. And my holiness envelops you. And so now you're identifying with the light that you are, and this light can't be sick. This light does not have a problem. This light does not have difficulty. Only the body has a problem. Only the body can get sick. And when you start to identify with this light, with this love, then everything starts to change. So this is really the invitation. And let's see. So this is, again, I'm just going through my notes here. You're applying the power of your holiness to all problems, difficulty, or suffering in any form you happen to think of. So this is the next thing I want you to do is the second practice is to write down in your journal or a piece of paper anything that comes to mind, a problem, a difficulty, or any suffering in any form that you can think of in yourself or someone else. And you're not going to try to fix it. You're just going to write it down so that you can know what's been going on in your mind. And then I actually really just took the practices straight out of A Course in Miracles, and I've made them so they're experiential, so that you're actually using them. See, I think the reason why many people who have A Course in Miracles or who are on a spiritual path don't see results is because it's all up here in the headspace. They haven't actually taken the practice and applied it. And when you use it, you start using your holiness, you start identifying with the love as yourself, you'll see how different your life becomes. So this is the practice. This is going to be the devotion for 8 weeks, and then of course you're never going to not do this after that, because you're going to see, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is an amazing way to work. Like, all your problems begin to disappear. You just are going through life effortlessly, and it's not like things don't happen, because they do, but you don't see them as problems anymore. You recognize, like, oh, I'm so available, I'm so present as the light that nothing bothers me, and God is with me, and this is just unfolding perfectly. So in this situation involving, so now you're going to take, I'm just going to wrap this up, and this really gives you a solid foundation for you to begin with. Is you should have a list once you're finished of any difficulties, any problems, any pain, any suffering in yourself or in someone else. In this situation involving blank, so you're going to put your difficulties, suffering, pain, whatever it is, in the blank, in which I see myself. So you see, we're back to the I see myself now. So I see myself in this situation. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. So that's where we leave it. We just keep enveloping the situation, our thoughts, our beliefs with our holiness. And this innocence, which is your holiness, is a light. This is the presence and power of God, and it does dissolve all your problems, all your difficulty, all pain, all suffering. So I thank you with all my heart for signing up for Dr. Kia's Mind, Body, Spirit Summit. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I hope you carry on. I really do invite you to keep going. And sign up for the 40-day program if you're new around here and you've never heard of A Course in Miracles and you would like to just get started there. It's totally free. Or you can sign up for the Healing Cure, and that's 8 weeks. An 8-week commitment. You do it at the pace that feels right for you. I always like to encourage people just go right straight through 8 weeks. And we have a Facebook group where you get to meet everybody. And there's just a lot of information out there. You know, on my website, you'll find different blogs. And I want you to just know you're not alone. You don't have to suffer. And everything's available to you, within you. It's not out there. The light that you are is yours to use. So I thank you so much for being here, for watching this, and for practicing so that you can really see that you are free. I love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.